No problem.
Listen, I spoke to the folks in Mississauga and then the folks in Laval, and they pointed me towards you as the, I guess, the point person for information on things like the Purchased in Quebec program.
Yes.
I was in the Wal-Mart store on the West Island of Montreal in Kirkland, walking through the linen section, noticed all of the very prominent Achat-Quebec fleur-de-lis and banners and everything else. But one thing that struck me as a little curious, when I looked at the actual product, I couldn't find anything that was made in Quebec. I found linen made in Pakistan.
No, it's a brand that it's purchased in Quebec. It's not necessarily made in Quebec.
I was surprised when I saw the Quebec insignias on a lot of the fabrics, because I know that you hear over and over again about how the Quebec needle trade's in big trouble, and I thought, wow, you guys have found a Quebec supplier. But like I say, when I saw Pakistan and China, and even on one package that had been opened by I guess a customer, made in Georgia, USA. Again, the same thing in the tool section. I walked over there and I noticed that the only supplier that you had in the tool section with that Quebec banner all over the place was Fuller Tools, and of course, everything from Fuller Tools that I could see was made in China. So, again, I thought that might be a little bit misleading.
But it's not necessarily made in Quebec, but purchased in Quebec. We're sending our check to a Quebec business that is outsourcing to probably a Chinese company.
Just if I can just refer to the press release that was issued by your office on June 22nd, and to quote it, in response to increasing requests from our customers who wish to obtain Quebec-made goods, we have established a visibility campaign throughout our 50 Quebec stores that will facilitate the identification of products made in Quebec, said Chantal Lenison, Vice President of Operations, Wal-Mart Quebec. So I would take it from that the program is designed to highlight Quebec-made goods.
We're trying as much as we can to support Quebec businesses, Quebec-made products, but in some cases it's not possible in the reality of 206. And that's why, in that case, we are still giving our check to a Quebec distribution, because we have the power to deal directly with the Chinese company. But instead of giving our check to a Chinese company, we still prefer to give our check to a Quebec company.
Don't you think that when somebody walks through, for instance, the hockey stick section and sees Achat-Quebec and the fleur-de-lis shelf talkers, and then without taking a closer look and realizing the hockey sticks are made in Ukraine or made in Russia, don't you think that's misleading? I mean, I can understand that the intention is to buy from Quebec-based companies, but don't you think that misleads the consumer into believing that these are jobs created in Quebec?
That's not what we hope to achieve. That's why we've been very clear in our communication, in terms of our advertising, in terms of our PR that we've done surrounding the program. But if there's things you have suggestions to clarify, well, I'm open to that. But we're not trying to hide or try to mislead the consumer. It's been very open, very frank about the fact that we're giving our check to a Quebec business, and that's the case.
When I read that section of your press release, have you issued a correction to that, or is that?
I will verify. I don't know. Let me check. Probably you have to look at the French version. It was translated from French to English.
Not a problem. Do you have these programs in other provinces? Is there a purchase in Ontario?
It's a one-of-a-kind program.
Why strictly Quebec? Why wouldn't you have a purchased in, for instance, Manitoba program?
Well, because it's Manitobans. People from Manitoba didn't find it was something that they care. Because if we found that the people from Manitoba would make a difference for them, that we support products that are bought in Manitoba, maybe we would launch this program. It's just the fact that in our Quebec, people had the perception that Walmart was an American company supporting Chinese products, but the fact is that Walmart is managed by a Quebec management and is supporting every year over 1,300 Quebec businesses. And last year we've gave $1.5 billion to these businesses. In Quebec, nobody knew that. Everybody thought the opposite. We're probably one of the number one private company that gives the most to the Quebec suppliers. And that's the kind of a perception we had to correct. And that's part of the reason why we've launched this program. If you read carefully, it's never been said that it's made in Quebec. It's purchased in Quebec. It's acheté au Québec. It's not fabriqué au Québec. And that's huge in terms of, if you know the language, it's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Not,
I think it's a massive.
If you're a person that can read, if you're a person that knows how to read, then you see the difference.
You don't think the consumer is misled by the?
Hope not, and that's why our advertising is very, very clear. And if it's the case, then we will correct the fact.
So this is, just to paraphrase it, this is something that's only happening in Quebec, primarily because in Quebec you felt that the Quebec consumer was under the impression you were an American company buying from China, and you don't have that. You don't have that concern from consumers in, say, British Columbia.
Well, we did that for two reasons. One, for perception, because Quebecers thought that we were an American company only supporting Chinese product, and the fact is that we are a company that is managed by Quebec management, and that we are supporting over 1,300 Quebec businesses, and we've gave $1.5 billion, and nobody knew that. And we thought that it would be good to tell that to the people. And the other reason is simply because the consumer do want some Quebec products. In Quebec, that's a reality that is different that you don't see in the rest of Canada.
Are you saying, therefore, that consumers in the rest of the country don't want to buy local goods if they're available at a competitive price?
No, the only thing I can tell you is that Quebecers do want to prefer to buy Quebec products.
Okay, and as opposed to, say, Canadian products.
Well, Canadians, the criteria is not is not maybe as high as in Quebec, but I'm sure that Canadian, for them, it's important to buy Canadian. But in Quebec, we saw a difference, a significant difference.
Okay, no, I'm just like I say, I was concerned because I think, and in talking to consumers, they seem to pretty much universally share my opinion that the program doesn't reflect the reality of where the goods are from, and the program in some ways is almost disguising where the goods are from by giving people the impression that they're supporting Quebec-made goods or Quebec jobs. As opposed
they are supporting a Quebec. I want to make the clarification, and that's very important, John, all right? Okay. We have, as we're the biggest corporation in the world, we have the power to deal directly with a Chinese company, an American company, everywhere around the world. We have the power, we have the people to deal directly. But we, in most of the case, still prefer, when it's not possible to find a Quebec-made product, to still support a Quebec distributor. And that's huge. That's huge. And, it's still good for the economy because we're giving our check to a Quebec businesses, and this person is probably hiring some marketing people, some distribution people, still hiring some people. Still the money is in the province. Instead of giving the check directly to a Chinese company, we're giving the check to a Quebec company.